So back in early March of 2020, I backed my first Kickstarter project, and I was looking for something extremely fun, something I could actually get into, and I came across ClicBot. Now at first, of course, everyone probably said, oh, that sounds stupid, it'll never come to fruition. I've heard a bunch of things, even up to the recent shipping issues. I've heard a lot of flack about this, but it did come through, and it still has the original plastic on it. I have yet to open this. I did back this for around $300. I got the starter kit with one extra skeleton piece, which would be this piece that's sitting back here, just so that I could make something a little larger or a little different than what the kit comes with. So this video is going to be simply an unboxing of this thing, and then in the next video we're going to get into setting it up, using it, seeing how it actually functions, do the different types of things work. Something that should also be noted here, this is a two-way programmable robot. So basically this runs using a tablet or your smartphone, and it has its own app where you can code using drag and drop block assembly. There are some other generic programming languages that are similar to that, but it's basically drag and drop, similar to what you would find with a Lego Mindstorms. It's the same type of thing. Advanced users can also code this with Python, which is supposed to open up a bunch of really cool features. But we're going to get into that in another video, and of course I need to figure out how that all works. But first, let's go ahead and tear into this thing and see what's here. And actually, before I do, let's just show you the box. So the back side here, create in minutes. Sorry if the autofocus is off on this. Create in minutes, drag and drop programs, and inspirational video content, which is available through the application. Your cutest friend, family friendly, and all in one. And on the back side here, easily create a cute and interactive friend, and this is some of the pre-made setups that you can do with this. Unleash your creativity with endless setup possibilities and enjoy customized platform. And it gives a list down here at the bottom with what's available inside of this kit. So it'll come with one brain, 4 joints, which are the little round pieces right here, these are little spheres. 1 skeleton, which, like I said, I have a second one right here. 2 wheels, which are the pieces that you can use to make it drive around, or in this case, stay upright on its own. 1 mount, which they're talking about this thing, which mounts to a table or a desk or something, and allows it to have a fixed base so that it can move but not fall over. At least that's the idea. It says 1 holder. This is actually a cell phone holder, and I'm not sure exactly what that looks like other than what's on here. I haven't seen a picture of it. And 2 lockers, which, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what those are either. The last I heard is that these are supposed to make the connections between the joints, between these 2 pieces, stronger. So maybe that is an issue. We'll find out when we get into taking this thing apart. And like I said, this is the starter kit. This was $300, and they went all the way up to several hundred if you wanted to get a full kit. And you could also order a bunch of extra pieces with that as well. So let's go ahead and open this thing up for the first time. I'm not entirely sure what to expect, but I'm hoping this is everything that I thought it would be, maybe a little bit more. And I will say that I would like to make this thing, if it turns out to be as good as I hope, a functional part of the channel. And I'm not going to give away a whole lot, but I'm sure you guys can probably come up with a couple ideas on what I'm talking about. So I have to say the packaging is actually very well done. This is something I would expect to find in a retail store. It's very solid boxing. It's actually pretty thick. I'm going to say almost a 1/4 inch thick on the thickness of the panels. So this is not in flimsy, thin cardboard or something. This is very sturdy and very, very tight. It's taking a while to break that air seal inside. Okay, I might have to speed this part of the video up. Okay, wow. Definitely tight in there. Okay. Set that guy aside. So we have our little Kickstarter backer here. Dear value ClicBot backer, I'm not going to read this entire thing to you guys. If you guys can see that, hopefully it'll show up on camera, and you guys can pause the video and read that if you'd like. Alright, so now we are looking at the intro part. Very well displayed, I like that. Has a cover over the eye. Not the greatest put on, but it's definitely solid. And here's an example of the connector, which we'll get into here a little more in a minute. It tells you how to do the connections, which way they go. Build, program, play, and there seems to be some more stuff on the back here. Okay, so not too bad. This is a little screen here that has an eye. In this corner is a camera so that it can see you and recognize gestures, and probably more. We'll find out when we dive into the application. And here are all the pieces. And of course I have another one of the skeleton pieces here, but we'll get into that another time. So let's first take out, because we ought to save the good stuff for last, we have what is probably an instructional booklet. Yes, and there are well over 100 pages of stuff in here. So that covers quite a bit. What do we have in here? Okay, so this looks like flashcards that tell you how to use each individual component and what they are. So we have the brain, we have the joint, we have feet, which in my case, the kit that I bought did not come with feet. That was a higher tier kit or an optional component. I did not get those. These are apparently the lockers, which are supposed to make the joint stronger, from what I understand. Is used for reinforcing the connections between two modules. So between any two types of modules where this connection happens, that's what the lockers are for. So they do understand that that is a problem. It kind of sucks to see that being a requirement, but it is what it is. I believe this is the distance sensor. I did not get this in my kit. This was a higher tier as well. This is the suction base, I believe. Yes, this is the suction cup. And this can be used to help climb, obviously, flat, non-porous surfaces. So it has a motor inside that actuates the suction cup to both make suction and release. That's cool. We have a wheel here, which is right over here. And I, for some reason, have always got these upside down. Let's just do this. Maybe that'll be right side up. Wheel mount is used for vehicle setups, and we'll go over all this stuff when we actually go through each of the modules in a separate video. This, I believe, is the cell phone holder. Is that what they're calling this? Is used for connecting a cell phone or camera to your ClicBot, similar to the camera that I have on my tripod right now. And that uses a standard thread here at the top. Excuse me. We have the mount. This is the sticky base that I was talking about that mounts to the desk. It probably won't mount to this surface very well, this textured vinyl wood looking stuff, but it would probably do very well to glass. And I've heard a couple of reports off of the Kickstarter page in the comments that this does not stick quite as well as people were hoping that it would, especially on fast movements. Slow movement seems to be fine. Fast appears to maybe pull these off, so we'll check on that. This is a grabber, which is literally just an automated pincher, or grasper, as they're going to call it. Is used for grasping objects. Gee, wouldn't you know it? There's that. And of course, the skeleton, which is this guy and my extra piece here. So this is cool. They do tell you what each of the pieces are. Seems they've put almost more work into the into the packaging and explanation than they maybe even did with the actual product. I'm not entirely sure. Let's look at the accessories here. Nice solid box here. Whoa. Okay. This looks like a charging cable, I'm betting. Yep. And this is, sorry about the focus. This is, my camera doesn't seem to want to do autofocus. This is USB Type-C, and it looks like maybe a 3-foot cord. So Type-C, that's good. I'm glad they adopted the newer USB standard for that, instead of going with the old micro USB or something like that. That's definitely good to see. How are you supposed to get, there we go. They just stack these in like hamburger pieces. Check that out. Alright, what is this? This looks like something you put on the desk. This is something. They appear to be little stickers. There's probably, oh, I want to say 10 or so. I believe these are probably even sticky pads that you can put on the desk the suction cup might adhere to. That would be my best guess. Let's pull one out and take a look here. No? Alright, I'm going to have to actually read up and figure out what these are. They are textured. They looks like they have a semi-clear center, so I'm not entirely sure what this will do. Maybe I'll find that when I read through the instruction booklet that no real human father would ever do. You know, men don't read instructions. You know that, right? Alright, let's dig deeper. Man, there's more. Alright, what do we got in here? Packaging is definitely good with this. Oh, okay. So I know what the other one is. I'm not going to take it out quite yet. But these are the lockers. And let's see if I can get this thing to autofocus up close here. Alright. So this is the part where two modules sandwich this guy in between them, and it helps apparently create a stronger lock. It does look a little bit different than the standard piece that's down here. Let's go ahead and pull one out real quick. I can show you. So you get these two up close, and you can see there are some subtle differences. The locker has 4 points of contact plus these two outer rings. This one just has the two outer rings. So it's supposed to be, oh wow, that is actually very, geez, that is strong. Alright, how do you get it off? Oh, I bet these, maybe? Wow. Okay, so maybe I'll have to figure this out another time. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so this definitely is going to take a little bit of work. And there seems to be some, it might just be foam that got in here, so this will need cleaned up a little bit. But, yeah, okay. So we'll set that aside over here. We know what that is. So this is one joint, and these have 4 sides to them. Let me bring this back up where you can see it. They do rotate, supposedly, a full, I'm not going to run it too hard because I'm not sure where the mechanics are inside, a full 360 all the way around, no stop. Yes, so we're more than 360 around. So these can rotate continuously in one direction forever, which means they did a very good job of pairing the contacts between one side and another side. And that's good. I was hoping they wouldn't have limited movement. That would make this very difficult to work with. So that's very cool. This is one joint. They didn't make this one very easy to get out, but it looks like they already paired 3 of them. So here we have 3, and they definitely took the time to set them all up and line all the edges up. I believe I saw in a video that these rings around the outside of the connections actually light up. So when this thing is powered up, these either have a white or a blue light. I can't remember. I think it was white. But that's going to be very cool to see. And so yeah, that makes 4 of these. And I should be able to, look at me being all stupid on camera trying to get this thing together. So maybe it's not as simple as click and shove together. Oh, wait. Okay, wow, that was almost too easy, actually. I feel like that should have been a little bit harder. Yeah, that definitely doesn't... There's a little bit of play in here. You can kind of see the gap that's right here if I pull a little bit. But these are pretty strong. I'd say this probably weighs a pound and a half maybe between all four of these. I don't have a scale that's appropriate to measure lower weights like this, but we'll get an idea at another time. I'm just going to set this here. Let's have a look at the base. Yeah, that's definitely all the foam from the packaging. Oh, there's a little sticker in here. Put mounts case on joint. And I can't imagine that's going to be very easy to work with, sitting inside, no way to really get to it, but... Oh, hey, check it out. So I pull this back. Yep, that's the sticky base. So these guys actually go to the bottom of the base and allow that to be so if this one gets pulled off of whatever stand it was on, they're probably not reusable. So they give you extras to be able to stick it to a new surface. That's what these are for. Okay, now we found out. Didn't have to read the instructions. See, we can figure it out. So we're going back to this. Assemble mounts left and right in inner cases into joints connectors from below. Put and rotate mounts bottom case. Not the greatest English, but it works. So this would mount down to the surface like this. You put your first joint into it. I'm not going to do it right this second, but basically like that, and then you snap it in, and then, I'm sorry, it would go this way. Here we go. That way this outer ring, this can then rotate around like this inside the base. So that's the idea for this guy. I'm going to take out what I believe is a cell phone holder. Yep, so there is... It has a connection. It has a what looks to be a functional electrical... Wait, is it? No, it's not. Okay. So it appears, if I compare this to another piece, that this little connection here that you're seeing, all right, let me get it in focus for you, is not the same as a functional electrical connection here. This is a dummy. It just looks like it. But at least they kept the theme consistent. That's cool. So this doesn't have any reporting. It doesn't know the position. It can't rotate or anything like that. You have to manually set it. So it has 180 as straight, 45, 90, and then obviously latches there and latches there. And this is just rotates. Okay, so this doesn't actually come off. And they do have a padded rubber bottom here so that once you tighten this down, it won't loosen automatically as it's bouncing around. So that's cool. This I would probably use one of those lockers for. So that's the cell phone holder. Let's get out one of the skeletons here. I do remember, that might have some plastic on it, I think, which might need to be taken off to give this little mirror piece its shine. But this is a non-movable piece, and I believe the center lights up as well. But this is what would connect one joint to another and just allow it to extend out in a straight line to give you more length. So, I mean, a really simple thing, and that's the exact same thing as what I have here, just another one of it. So we'll leave the good guy for last here. Let's go ahead and pull out the wheels here. Oh, shoot. This we only need one, really. Yeah, there's a lot of foam dust from this. It almost looks like it wasn't cleaned before they packed it. So you will need to clean your parts. So again, it has a connection base here, and obviously the wheels go all the way around. It does feel like it's meant more for speed than it is for torque. That feels very loosely geared. And there's a little bit of slop in it. I'm going to say maybe 1 or 2 degrees tops. It's not bad. And it is a freely rotating outside wheel with a stationary cap and inner mechanism. So I'm guessing that the motor sits inside of here, geared to a ring on the inside of this wheel track, and that runs around. The rubber has more, obviously, on the inside, looks like, and a little bit less on the outside. So it would be hard to make it sit and bank this way, but easier to sit and bank this way. But it is relatively sticky. I wouldn't say it's really going to do a whole lot of good on a slippery, wet surface that's smooth, but as far as going around on carpet or vinyl or even a dry, smooth surface, this will probably work fine. I don't expect it's going to last very long. I'm not sure how thick it is, but it is solid, and I can feel that it goes down probably at least 1/8 of an inch. So not a terrible design. Guess we'll see how good that really is when we get to it. And for the main guy, of course they didn't give you any good way to get this out of here, and I don't want to break it. Okay. Yeesh. Yeah, look at all this. Okay. So I did not notice this before, but apparently he does have a connection on the top of the brain, and it is functional. Every picture and video I saw before, if I remember right, I could be dreaming this, did not have a connection. In fact, if you look here, right here on the top, it doesn't even show a connector, but it shows one on the bottom, which is strange. I mean, it's fine, that's good, it allows more movement, but unexpected. So if I hold the bottom and the top, nothing moves in relativity here. If I hold the entire base and I shift just the eye, so the entire eye shifts. Let's see, I'm going to hold this steady and shift it over as far as it'll go. I'm going to say not a whole lot. And it does seem to have, there does seem to be some inconsistency in the mechanics inside. It might be that there's an end stop inside of here that doesn't quite feel solid. Hear that? It doesn't sound like it's completely put together, or that the connections are a little loose. That does concern me a tad bit, but other than that, I mean, the construction looks pretty good. It does have a rubber bottom to the bottom of the brain, which is an odd choice. But the top one here is definitely an odd choice. But basically, this entire piece would stay still, and this, yeah. I don't expect that this, yeah, hear that? Yeah, so there's some kind of gearing issue inside. But I don't expect this left and right motor to stay functional for a whole long time. We'll find out. So next is the back here where the connections are. And I believe this is a reset or power and our USB Type-C connection, which is where we upload programs and recharge the brain. So out of curiosity, I'm going to put this back on. Can I still hit it? Yes, I can. Let's press it and see if it turns on for the first time, if this has any charge in it whatsoever. If this is even how you turn it on, it might not be. Okay, so it should have turned on by now if it was going to. So again, up here in the corner, get in focus, sorry, we have a camera, we have a couple distance sensors, I'm willing to assume, an infrared sensor, and I'm not entirely sure what this bottom one is. It might say somewhere in the packaging, but I'll have to get to that. But other than that, this seems to be a pretty good piece of hardware. There does seem to be another light here on the top. It's only on one side of the eye, so I'm not entirely sure what that could be used for or why. If I center up the eye with the body and the rotation, it's just off to the side. So maybe it's a charging light or a status light to let you know that it's on. and their logo in the back might even light up. That would be kind of interesting to see. They did at least pack it with a very cheap, very small thing of silica gel, but it was also wrapped very well. That's good. So that is pretty much what ClicBot is. In a coming video, we are going to go over everything. I need to test this. I need to charge up the brain module. I'm going to make sure all of the components work, and then we will go through and see just how well this thing actually works. So with my mess of future robotic partner parts here, I hope to see you guys again at some point. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see. If there's some kind of demonstration you want to know, something you'd like me to do with it, showcase, suggestions for future videos if you want me to incorporate this guy somehow, maybe you'd like to name him, you let me know. So with that, I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.